Hey, welcome back. Here's another episode with multiple films. It's the Creature series, Creature from Black Lagoon, which has the Creature from Black Lagoon, Revenge of the Creature, and The Creature Walks Among Us. The first two was directed by Jack Arnold, the last one was directed by Jack Arnold's assistant. The producer was the guy, one of the guys from Citizen Kane, the guy who was trying to find who was Kane. So it's an Orson Welles graduate was the producer on this one, William Allen. These are classic films. This part you actually get the first two films in 3D because they were shot in 3D. The last one was just shot in 2D, but the first one was shot in 3D. First two were shot in 3D. These are wonderful films. I especially recommend them in 3D, the ones you can see, because they really add a lot to the atmosphere. I mean, these are films that were made in 50s 3D, which was clunky, but if you got the right director, you could get some really good stuff out of it. I mean, these two, which are Jack Arnold ones, there was the House of Wax, the Vincent Price. That was another good 3D one. There was another Jack Arnold one where about the alien invaders. It turned out it wasn't quite as threatening as it was meant originally appear. I can't remember the title of that one. There's quite a few good 3D films from the 50s that are worth seeing. But Creature's probably the highlight of that. I mean, Creature and House of Wax are the two best 3D films. The Creature from Black Lagoon is a classic story, Beauty and the Beast. In this case, it's about these scientists are going down the river, investigating this river. They find a creature. The creature is trying to defend its area and attacks them. They fight back. They think they kill the creature. They escape from the area. The creature's undone by its interest in the blonde woman who is. It's obviously got his interest. The way that happened in a King Kong movie, or happens in one of these monster movies where the creature is the beast and he falls to the beauty. It's that kind of film. All of the setup is quite rote. I mean, a lot of it is basic stuff. There's nothing in this plot that is amazingly unique. It's just the setup of going to Africa, going down this river, finding this Black Lagoon and finding this creature that has sidestepped millions of years of evolution and it's still where it would have been millions of years ago. It's a lone creature. There's only one of them. It's trapped in the modern world basically. There's no escape from it, and it just needs to be left alone. I mean, there's rumours of anyone who goes up this river is going to attack the creature, and if they get solved, just like, oh, that's nonsense. It turns out it's not nonsense. But what's amazing is the 3D, underwater 3D, and just the atmosphere. The film works well in 2D, but it really works in 3D. The 3D kind of builds up the kind of more mythic elements, and going through the water in 3D, it just gives it a feel. This is what 3D was meant for, like this sense of expanding the world and giving you more depth to the world and more depth to the imagery and creating something that's unique and doesn't quite come off in 2D the same way. It's just this sense of immersion in the story and the kind of melodrama of the story. I mean, the melodrama is what Jack Arnold does interesting things with in sci-fi. Like, he's not the most emotional director. He doesn't have actors that are overly emoting. They are quite clipped. The men tend to be very no-nonsense and serious. And the situation is taken seriously. But there are melodramatic situations, and and visually he always treats them with respect, and he has the sanity of the world trying to investigate what's going on. So he has a realistic base to the world, so he doesn't go into weird angles of nonsense. But visually he does go into the melodrama of the situation and lets it unfold, and he really goes with it. And that's what you really get in the Creature of Black Lagoon, this sense of a world, of a creature in this world, all these people don't understand it and doing the typical human daft thing of trying to capture something that should never be captured. So just let it go, and it's just the stupidity of man getting decimated by this creature that's too pure for them, and the creature's big flaw is love of this blonde who he... What's that blonde? Can't remember. I'm getting them confused. There's love of this woman. It's a brunette. But it's love this woman who he falls for some reason I'm thinking of Blonde because of King Kong. But it's that sense of someone, a creature that's too pure for the world. It's pure in itself and it can be corrupted by its impact with the world. So that's the first one. It's hard to talk about this film because it's very simple, and I love it as just watching it and just enjoying the atmosphere of it. And it's a very basic story. I mean, it's a story you could write in the back of an envelope. That's all that happened. It's just one of those films with the atmosphere. It's just sort of similar to Alien. With Alien, you could write the plot in the back of an envelope quite easily, but the atmosphere of it all is what it really, and the way the actors are in the world, it's what makes it work. It's not the story, it's just the way the story's told. The sequel, The Revenge of the Creature, is also in 3D. It's also in terrific 3D. I don't think the 3D is quite as good in this one because it takes place in America this time. The creature's caught early on in the film. So because they hear about it and they hear the stories of the creature, a team goes out, captures the creature to bring back to civilization and to bring it to be seen by the world as this amazing scientific aberration without any concern about what this does to the creature or the fact that the creature will react violently to being contained. The main character is Johnny Eggar, and he's trying to teach the creature to be civilized. He's not inhumane, he's actually quite a decent character, but he treats animals, and he treats them to actually learn like civilized behaviour. He's got a love interest, and there's some other like people who are around him as well, the people who are the trainers who also look after the creature. And they are trying to train and try and rescue what the creature's about, try and help it get back to this, try and help it to survive in this new world. And work out where it came from, what's going on in it with it. And but the problem is that this story is the creature should never have been taken from its world in the first place. Of course it escapes. Like as soon as they catch it, you're waiting for it to escape from this, from where they're going to put it. And it takes a while, but you see the creature being intelligent, seeing where the flaws are, and it doesn't jump straight away for escape. It waits, it bides its time. Of course, it falls in love with another woman this time, who's the girlfriend of Johnny Eggar, and who's she's not bad in this film, and she's a scientist. So I mean, the human characters are quite good in this film because you like them. You know, they're likable. They're not like wonderfully deep characters, but they are enjoyable and they make sense for where they are. The characters just keep going, trying to work the creature out. The creature escapes. And because he's happy, he just destroys everything when he gets loose because he's been planning ahead and he knows what he wants. Eventually escapes and they think he's just going to swim back to where he came from. But he's actually been tracking the woman who he's fallen for, and he's going to track her because how Johnny Eggar decide to take a break together before they go back to work. And unfortunately the creature is stalking him. The creature kidnaps the woman, of course it does, and eventually he's hunted down and he has to escape. And that's really what happens. He escapes eventually and is left to float away, injured, brutalised by the world. This film has some wonderful set pieces throughout it. I mean, it is, in some ways it's got a stronger central story, but it's not a strong film because it has some more incidents to try and keep the story going. When the original was just the pure myth of the creature from Black Lagoon and its habitat, this one, it's a bit more clunky, but it's still really enjoyable. It's made by good craftsman Jack Arnold, who knows what he's doing. So each section has its own feel. The early sections of going hunt the creature has its own feel. The section within the water park has the scientists try and work out and the creature's exhibited. That's his own feel. And then the final sections, the creature hunts a woman down and he's hunted down by humanity, and there's lots of lights and it's a lot darker and a lot more threatening and suggestive the creature's going to die. You know, they're going to hunt it down this time and kill it. It's still a wonderful film. I mean, I think it's an underrated sequel. It's a really strong sequel. It actually works so well. It really delivers on what you want from a sequel from this film. if you're going to do one. It's like, the original didn't need a sequel, but if you're going to do a sequel, this is the way you should do a sequel, you know. Expand the situation, put the creature in a new situation, where its flaws and its problems are going to be exploited by mankind, and let's see what happens with it. Okay, the final film is The Creature Walks Among Us. This was not really needed. This film is the worst of the series by a mile. It's not a bad film, but it is a clunky film. Basically, these scientists discover the creature still in America. It's not long after the second film. It's found a place to hide and to swim and, you know, to have peace. But they decide they want to investigate it because they think they can make great scientific discoveries from it. Even if it means cutting it up to find them. Yes, these scientists are scumbags. And the lead character, the lead scientist, is very inconsistently written. He says he wants to be a good man and create all these advances for humanity, but he also is jealous of his wife, getting attention from other men. He's just insane, basically. He's just a nutcase. He's a horrible character, but he's inconsistently written character, so it gets very frustrating because the writing of him is not that good. He does things to advance the plot that don't seem to match with his character. There's other scientists there as well. The wife of the character, of this lead scientist character, who's a bit flighty because she's dealing with this psycho as her husband. There's some other characters who are also in the team trying to hunt the creature down. They eventually hunt the creature down. It goes and it's burnt, it's on fire, and basically they have to take off all its scales to actually keep it alive. Unfortunately for them, that means the creature can no longer survive within the water, which means it's now been taken from the one place it's felt safe, and it's now depressed, and it's taken to this place owned by the lead scientist for more tests, and it's just this mopey creature eventually going to resort to violence to escape, and it ends with the creature looking at the water after he destroyed his enemies, killed the lead scientist, looking at the water, and you wonder, is he going to commit suicide, or has he been distanced enough from it, or is he going to go somewhere else? I think it's a suicidal look. I think he's going to walk in the water and just drown. It makes the film sound more interesting than it actually is. Because it's not directed by Jack Arnold, there is a problem with this film. The film doesn't really work. The film is clunky as hell. There's some wonderful scenes, underwater scenes, because this guy who directed was an assistant of Jack Arnold. He knew how to shoot these scenes. He knew there was a team in place who could shoot some good underwater scenes. It's just when the actors had to talk was a problem, because they're just not that interesting. The script's very basic, and it hasn't been enough drafts of it to actually make sense of everything. So you just feel like you're going from A to B, and that's very done very kind of broken way, and then B to C done the same way. You just feel like there's no smoothness to the storytelling. The storytelling just feels vague and unsatisfying. And the only thing that's really keeping you there is the creature. The creature still works, but it's just not that good a film, and it's kind of depressing. That's the way the series ended. It was like the first film was fine on its own. The sequel gave it an ending that was satisfying. You can find they're fine. The third one is just depressing. It's not needed. It's just a depressing ending to the series. It's it's just not that good, and it's just not that interesting to watch. It's just like one of those films. I'd watch the first two films happily. That third one, I'd have to put a lot of thought into it when I would watch it. I'd probably watch it just because I've seen the other two as a series, but it's one of those disappointing sequels that kind of take away a lot of the goodwill that the series has built up. It's that kind of film. It's not that well acted, but the acting's not bad either. They're trying their best with bad setup and bad dialogue and characters that don't actually make sense, and characters who do things that are obviously stupid, that are really stupid and annoying to watch. It's just that kind of frustrating film. But it's a really good set though. This is a wonderful set. You get like commentaries on the films, you get 2 of them in 3D, you get some extras on the first disc, all about the creature. It's a wonderful wonderful set. It's not that expensive either, so I recommend it for the first 2 films and the extras, because they are wonderful. It's great transfers for all 3 films. It's just a really good set. It's just a shame the 3rd film that wasn't really that good. But the first 2 are, first one's a classic, the second one's a surprisingly strong sequel, the 3rd one's a annoyingly weak sequel. But it's still a highly recommended set. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back soon with another video. Right, bye for now.